Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mice, 2 hours, starting now.
Hello.
Why, hello.
How's it going? How are you?
You flustered yourself by being ready.
I know. I didn't think it would work. Hey, sorry I'm a little bit late, but I had to return a car. I was in San Diego. I can't say why I was there, but I'm very close to a record deal.
Right.
Why would I go to San Diego for that, though?
I don't know, but it was funny enough to not double back on.
Well, have you ever seen me not double back?
No.
My thing is double back, over-explain, apologize, yell at the crowd, yell at Josh, yell at, and then if that doesn't work, then you go, maybe the joke was weak. After doing it 70, 80, 90, 100 times.
Well, at least you have a process.
You know what? It works for me.
That's right.
You never say stuff like that, right? Works for me.
I don't, but I feel it. I feel it inside.
My friend Christina was telling me this one, which is a classic, where, you know, someone tells you something, I told him off, and I said, and then you say, what did he say? He goes, nothing he could say. Nothing he could say. I mean,
check and mate.
Yeah, check and mate. So how did he respond? How could he respond at that point? Happy New Year. Oh, Happy New Week. It's been a rough week. Not a rough week. I'm fine. I'm ambulatory.
Yeah.
But I did have, I had to pull over when I was driving down to San Diego because what is it called when you swerve and you're passing out and you're, going side to side?
DUI, generally, we call that.
No, I wasn't drinking. So what do you call it? Bad driving. And also it was a car. I really liked these. It was a Nissan Altima, which I think you recommended maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I did, but okay.
You've never had a Nissan?
But it's a fine car, absolutely. I just don't think I ever piped up about it.
Right. So, what was my point about having a Nissan Altima?
I don't know. You can't drive it is apparently your point.
Oh,
it's too much car for you, apparently.
Well, my therapist says that, my therapist and I agree that, that I am an old man, and not an old man, but at this point, it's like you can't, if you have 3 hours, you have to be careful when you get, not even to most people your age can't, put two sentences together.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with age, maybe.
Or maybe not. I need a little clearer, picture of what was actually happening here. Okay,
so we were going to go to San Diego, and then we start down there, and I haven't been sleeping really that much. I don't get like more than 3 hours of sleep at a time. I'm on 3 hours, 4 hours sleep now. So I thought I would be fine, and I just started to just drift, and so I finally had to pull over, and then Susan had to take. But it was like one of these things where I think it was accumulated exhaustion.
Yeah,
So
you nodded off, is what you're saying.
What's that?
You nodded off.
No, I didn't. No, because Susan's right next to me.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing. And I don't think you probably ever felt this way, but it's like, it's almost where I felt like things are going too fast at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I think it was all exhaustion, just total exhaustion and stress.
Yeah.
I mean, I like going to San Diego on a pleasure trip.
Sure. This wasn't that.
No, but it wasn't even like a big thing, but it was like, another thing I learned from my therapist, in case you have friends who have illnesses, is that if you have things like OCD, they get worse under stress.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, this was one of those cars. Oh, by the way, I have a joke. It's not that great a joke, but to me, the new cars are all OCD, and probably 10 years too late for this joke, but they're all OCD alarms, because you press it that second time to see if it's still locked. And it goes, come on, buddy.
I don't know. It's, yeah.
Can't you at least listen to the goddamn joke and then evaluate? You weren't even listening.
I was.
It's just old, right?
Well, yeah, car alarms are kind of,
Oh, how about this? Your door is ajar?
Yeah, yes, the talking cars for sure. That's fresh.
Oh, how about this one? Objects may be closer than I appear. I stuck my penis up there, and maybe I don't have it yet.
No, but at least you have the premises at the ready.
Premises at the ready, right? Exactly. Do you ever pull in? Do you ever try to use one of those drive-thrus? So anyway, what was the point I was making? Was anyway, I think I
You're
covered
very
it.
tired
Anyway.
and you shouldn't be driving is kind of what you're saying.
Yes, and Susan said, look, cry me a river and get back out there. Take an Adderall, suck it up, and you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to sleep. In your defense, it's hard to sleep when we have local earthquakes.
No. This was going down there.
I know.
Did you feel that?
I'm just saying. I was trying to, cross over into the earthquake.
Last night was not a scary earthquake, except it was one of those, boom, hit you fast, but we must have been far away from it.
No, we were literally 6 blocks from it.
Let me say something. Let me finish my point. We were probably 6 blocks from, but it was so weak.
It was literally further from us vertically than it was horizontally.
Are you sure it wasn't just you with the wife, making out?
We were making the whoopee.
And, where was it? Oh, it was here. How big was it, I meant?
It was like 2.0.
Oh my God.
But it was 6 blocks away. So.
Hey, that is, I can't, for some reason, I'm still not understanding it.
The epicenter of this tiny quake was a stone's throw away.
So this is why almost nobody felt it but us?
If your stone could then burrow 1.5 miles down through there.
So, I bet that's why a lot of people weren't feeling it anywhere except us.
Right. Exactly. It was our local earthquake.
We already had a big earthquake.
It was like a DoorDash earthquake.
But you know what, though? We already had our earthquake, the Northridge quake, and then the Santa Monica quake. Leave this area alone.
Yes. I'm with you.
What's that voice I'm doing? I don't know.
I don't know. I tune out certain frequencies now.
What's that commercial? How about no? How about yes? How about no?
No.
Oh, that's right. No. Now you have to admit, as bad as Spectrum is or whatever the hell they're doing, they did stop those commercials.
Yes, they did. Yes. Yes, they did.
I don't want to say that they're over advertising for workers and stuff, but I start tomorrow at 7 running pipe.
Do you mean exposition or actual pipe?
Either way, it's weak. Can I ask you a question? And when I ask you that, it's always something stupid or something I'm interested in. Isn't it time for 5G to be 6G? What happened? They keep saying come on. It's not TV that bothers me. It's the commercials.
Ow, it's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me. It's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me.
Are you still attracted to the woman in the AT&T commercial? I'm not attracted to her anymore. But when I was attracted to her, she was probably 24. And why do I have to be attracted to that lady?
I don't know. It's you. At least you fess up more than most people about the people you have crushes on TV.
The fact that I'm pitching my network reporter pinup thing, nobody has any interest in.
Yeah.
Nobody has an interest in Hallie Jackson March, where yes, she's got a pencil in her hand, but she also has those sexy glasses that she pops off.
Yeah.
I like the way you'd have to take a reporter and put them in a thing that made them look like they were working. They're already working.
Right.
Do you think that would be received poorly? Because Susan said it would be.
I think it would.
My hot calendars. But I think it's a funny thing to joke about with you.
I do too.
And
I do too. Like I said, you admit it more than most people.
And here's how I put it on there. But not even that. It's like these people know, you know what? I'm going to change the whole idea. And it's like women looking smart. And then so that the fact that they're in a bra or they're in a low cut thing, that's just what they do.
I have a different sort of take on this that's not quite as objectifying as you, but still sort of female centric, which is I feel like women journalists are like slaves to what's happening in fashion. Like they're so screwed by if they want to wear current fashion and suddenly it's like there's no sleeves anymore, you know. Now you have to be like a sleeveless anchor if you want to be fashionable. And and it's I also am like jewelry is a big problem for talking heads, and during the Zoom era you sort of realize that more than anything. It's like there's just a critical mass of jewelry you can wear without people turning into like bass, being fascinated by a shiny object.
Are you talking about the singing bass on the wall?
No, I'm talking about actual bass in the water.
Oh. Because I was going to get you that singing bat. Have you seen those? I'm making that for Christmas.
Yeah.
You like that?
That's about as current as your car alarm thing.
And what's the deal? The song, they go, bah, bah, and then this guy's voice comes on. He goes, step away from the car. Say. You had a Yugo, right?
Did I?
And what did you learn from having a Yugo?
I learned you should go to another car.
Fix or repair daily. Fix it again, Tony. Don't ever leave the airport.
D-E-L-T-A.
I can't think of another one.
Okay.
Fix it again, Tony, I feel is a little racist.
I think it is.
Is an Italian guy's name Tony?
Yeah.
Were Fiats generally horrible cars? Are they gone?
No, they're still, I think it's like still the number one car in Europe.
Are you young enough or old enough to remember this one? Drive a Datsun, then decide.
No.
What a terrible slogan.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I'm now exhausted.
You drove a Datsun and you had to pull over.
Then decide, hey, Datsun, nice commercial. I drove a Datsun. I decided to kill myself. Folks, have you heard of this crazy Eddie? I mean,
Drive a Datsun. Decide your wife should drive.
Do you think I could get traction on these old bits like Where's the Beef? Just put a whole thing together of it.
Yeah, I think, if you just, more is more, I think.
When it comes to me, it isn't. I double negative. Negative. Now, I have a problem. It's not going to be a problem for Friday, but it is a problem now because I know that I know that I have HBO, but usually the things I could watch came on, but now I have to go through my Roku. What are you telling me? I can't get it through Spectrum.
No, you have to go through your Roku. Get the HBO.
Okay. I will get it through my Roku, and not only am I getting it, oh boy, is Friday going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, the point of it is really for the early part.
I know.
We have the questions for Friday.
I had to go to San Diego.
I understand.
You son of a bitch.
I wasn't going to hound you about it, but
no, it's your fault.
But now you're rescheduling the show. You're doing,
I don't mind talking about. I'm so excited but I don't want you to. You know what? It has to be me and you at the same time. You just can't be otherwise. Otherwise, I'll start to get opinions of it.
What does? We
have to talk about hacks at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't. I've noticed this tone with you. This is always a bad discussion.
Yeah.
No, I'm not upset, Josh. I'm tired of your tone.
Okay.
I think my parents did a lot of that kind of stuff. Don't adopt that tone with me.
Did they?
See, you had the best parents. Your parents were the greatest. You guys were partying together. Oh, God, it sounds good. And they loved you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
When you came down in the morning, your mother didn't look through you because of her own depression as if you weren't there. That happened to me once. I think I was 4 inches from my mother. Hello. She looked through me.
Yeah.
She's not going to be there in case something happens if she can't see me a foot from her.
No, it does not. It definitely does not inspire safety confidence.
Yeah, I just want to say one more thing. People are saying, what do you do? It's all, look, I get along much better with my mother.
Which isn't to say I don't get it.
I get along a lot better with my mom now than I ever did.
Yeah? Well,
yes.
I always say that the relationship totally continues after they die. So
I know that you
bears it out for me.
Let us not give short shrift to the fact that if you are friends, if you get to be friends with Josh Elvis Weinstein, which I don't think most people are going to get to be, it's a big list. He sincerely cares, unless he doesn't like you. Unless it's like Hitler lost his mom.
Yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't say to Hitler's, about when he lost his mom. Adolf, take time off. But you care. You've been there. You're like the Joe Biden of Friends.
Yes. And I assure you that when their name brings a smile to your face before it brings a tear to your eye, that's when things will matter.
And that's why I kind of feel bad about my mom that I kind of
want to write stuff for Joe now because he uses the same shit over and over too much.
Who does?
Joe Biden.
Joe?
What the fuck? You brought him up. Joe Biden. Hello.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He goes, because you know what? He also tends to use the same things all over.
That's what, yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what the tear to your eye, smile to your lips thing was.
Yes. You know, and one of these days he's going to go, fuck it, I don't even care about Bo anymore. It's enough already. You people, would you grieve on your own time? What am I, Mr. Everybody who died has to come through me?
We're Americans, we compartmentalize.
I have 2 words for you. Bill Clinton. Now there's a guy who could sleep with women during the day, lie about it at night, and then get right back to work in the morning on China. I'm developing good material for past presidents.
Yes, it's good. It'll go with your past commercials and past technology chunks.
Now, what's your take on Joe Manchin recently?
My take is that he's not helpful to anyone.
He's not helpful. But he's very important right now. I can't wait till he's not important anymore.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I'd much rather have Christian Simina be the Simina. You know what Susan doesn't think it's funny? Susan doesn't think this is funny that every time I say similarly, I say simularly.
Yeah.
And then have an argument about it, about how it's pronounced, to the point where she would kill me if everybody agreed that it's fine.
Yeah. So she normally gets upset about it.
That's right. Similarly to what you said.
Yes.
And this is the other thing, and I don't think you're doing this.
Well, here's the thing I think that angers us both.
Oh, wait, don't piggyback on her problems with me.
But you got me on the hook with normally and her on similarly, and it's the same fucking problem.
Yes.
Is that you, a professional comedian by trade and title, think that's funny?
Excuse me?
Yes. Yes. It's infuriating. It's infuriating that you even think it's funny. And then triply infuriating when you drive it into the ground.
Asshole says what? Asshole says what?
Normally.
Idiot says what?
Normally.
Normally. And here's the thing about normally that bothers me. And here's what I'm going to tell you is the truth. I do feel like I'm turning into my father in a bad way.
That is. That is the bad way to turn into your father, yes.
I'm shooting people with my fingers. I mean, really, I shoot people with my fingers. That shouldn't be allowed. That's Kevin Meaney, maybe, because, that was his.
Your favorite commercials of the last 10 years are telling you all about these problems, and you're ignoring it.
Oh, I couldn't believe they have a new one now. The guy's like, I'm a nuclear physicist or something. and I take Prevagen. I'm just like, get out of here. That guy's not taking Prevagen. I mean, he does take Prevagen. Why are these people so boring?
We're talking about this again.
We've had this discussion before. I just want to make the further comment that when I talk about these topics, it is not the very existence of TV that bothers me.
Yeah.
It's the advertise. Do you know they have advertisements periodically? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hello? Mm-hmm. Hello? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's something else that's steaming me that's off topic. I have a Brita. I've switched from zero water to Brita.
Oh,
because
jeez.
of what?
I don't know.
And they
trying to have an attitude about it.
Oh my God, what? And then we had a problem with it where, like, there's like a flap. Well, the flap doesn't kind of open sometimes, and then it pours the water all over and I get enraged. Huh. Not really, but yeah. Why should those things ever bother you? I'm saying I'd like to write this book, right? And here's what the book's called. Don't sweat the little things. And you know what? They're all little things.
Ah, I think that's a good.
Really? You wouldn't steer me wrong, would you? Steered. I say steered. But here's the thing about me and my father, though,
no,
John.
Not steering people wrong is one of several effective habits I have.
But I really am turning into. But then the other part of me said, like, just give yourself a break. So what if you're turning into your father? No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
No,
I love him.
Yeah, but let him have him. It's not a void that needs to be filled.
That's true. I just want to tell you that now that my mom and my father are both gone.
Yeah.
I prefer my father. I'm doing it under my breath. I just happen to prefer my father. But my father wasn't there. My father wasn't going to raise me. What kind of bullshit is he trying to pull? He just wants to come home to be the happy daddy.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes I feel like I've talked about these things before.
But how much do you blame your father for how your mother felt?
No, I didn't blame him, but my therapist says my father had a tough gig because he went to work at 6 a.m. Then he had to kind of come home and make the dinner. Like my mom didn't do things like that.
Yeah.
So that was a tough road to hoe. My therapist says.
Yeah. If he was trying to keep everything together, then yeah.
And let me tell you the actual truth, which maybe I have told you. My mother never did anything. And then I'm not even blaming her. She was severely depressed, but then she always thought she was doing things. And if there were two things she had to do, I've got to buy presents for Dylan's birthday. Then the whole house will go crazy over. So I don't know. I'm just getting rid of some of these. I'm not angry at her anymore. And I've taken down the dartboard.
And you're carrying on her legacy of panicking over the smallest thing.
That's true. And the other thing is, but I'm getting over the hating to do anything like shop or like I don't mind shopping and all those things that I thought I hated because I was scared to go out with my mom. My mom embarrassed me in public because she would walk up into like Bloomingdale's. She walked right to a salesperson. Like she doesn't looking around to see where the line is.
Yeah.
So that got me into trying to control people's behavior.
Yeah. Not a winning game.
Not a winning game. But have you ever done that in your life? Like used your comedy and whatever, and you're at a party and there's somebody you really can't stand or they're going to go on to a thing. So you try and with humor, clamp them down.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way I try.
But sometimes that can get exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't try to put out a fire that's too big for my extinguisher.
That's a very good expression. And the other thing is that, I'm not responsible for the other people's behavior. In other words, I'm not responsible. Let's say we have a friend at a party. I'm not responsible for you liking my friend or, all of those things are nowheresville.
Yes.
Because my head's hurt sometimes. Like at a thing like, I say, Bruce, don't go off into a thing.
Yeah.
Don't go off into. And for years, I would be just exhausted all day long.
Right. Yeah. Well, managers are especially hard because they actually do technically represent you.
Right.
So you have to divorce yourself from that sort of, factor and understand that people still aren't judging you.
Yes. Well, also just the exhaustion of, because I'm sure you feel like sometimes you can control a situation. I'm not saying this like a Robert Klein on Stand Up for Comedy Mind, but because you can control the energy a little bit. That's where I go wrong, but I can go into a deli, get a guy laughing, and we can use hard humor to our advantage.
Absolutely. Well, and ultimately, I mean, that is sort of the appeal of stand-up is controlling the situation and the vibe,
And when you meet people who have no sense, I mean, I have met people like this. I think we talked about it before, where they have no sense of humor. They find nothing funny. It's kind of sad.
It is, and it's completely debilitating for me.
Oh, for you?
Yeah, I don't know how to approach those people generally.
And I always make the mistake of using sarcasm with new people and thinking they're going to get it. And many people, even if they have a sense of humor, don't believe that you're trying to be funny. They go, why would he launch into that right now?
Yeah.
They might have a point.
Well, I don't know that you're necessarily the litmus test for why would he launch into that right now, but.
I'm going to ask you a general question. How's everybody? I know that you've got a lot of stuff going on, but I've lost touch with Clyde's progress.
Clyde is doing well.
And has Lucky said anything to me or you or about me
about
or
you not coming around anymore?
Yeah. It's amazing how quickly.
Well,
dogs
she asked,
get over.
and I said he hates you, Lucky.
Otherwise, why would he be looking at me with hate?
He can't stand you, and
No.
You made him
Andy,
go away.
You're anthropomorphizing. Look at his lips. He looks disturbed at me. I think trying to interpret dogs' faces would be tough.
Yeah,
they always look like they're smiling.
It's a whole package.
You know what I still find entertaining? When a cat or a dog opens up their big yap to yawn, and you see everything down their throat. And to me, if the TV went out, I could watch that for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But you're over it because you have dogs.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to write a book about your dog, you and your dog, Marley and Me, or...
Yeah, I don't think I will. I have written a little poem, though.
Oh, do you have a poem? Jimmy, I heard now you write a lot of poems about your dog, right?
Why ask? This one is to my old basset hound, Bocephus.
What was his name?
Bocephus. Oh, Bocephus, go off to sleepus.
You have made me hate Jimmy Stewart. I can't stand him. I hate you, Jimmy Stewart.
Where's that coming from?
Because you're a right-wing scum. How could you?
I served this country in the United States Air Force.
What did you do? What did you do?
I flew combat missions.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You're so.
Take a seat, Junior.
It must have hurt or had a tremendous effect on you, because I noticed you lose your voice a little bit.
It did leave me with a little bit of an unsteady feeling.
Oh, I can't see Jimmy Stewart. Here's people I never get tired with. If you did cotton candy grapes every day, maybe I would, but I never get tired of cotton candy grapes. I never get tired of, come on, Jojo, would you stop talking about angels that don't exist, Juju? Excuse me, Mary, are your hands broken? Because I figured the only way you could play piano that terribly is if your hands were broken, you stupid, talentless loser. I know her name's not Mary. Mary's the wife.
It's
right?
not Juju either, so I wasn't going to stop you.
It is Juju. You're right, Juju. You're right. He says at the end, "You're right, Juju. An angel gets his wings." And then Jimmy Stewart, in the greatest acting moment of all time, winks at nothing. I'm steamed about it, Josh. I'm steamed. It's not TV that bothers me. It's the old movies.
So what's your beef there, Jay?
I really like... Apparently, Britney Spears has her own line of shoes now. Well, I guess that gives her a whole number. Oh, I had it right there. It gives her a whole number.
You're in the pocket for both voices.
But how come when you try and repeat it, you lose it because you start thinking?
Yeah, because you psych yourself out.
Not you.
No, I don't have nerves.
I keep wanting you to feel better about your ability to do great impressions when it hasn't necessarily been a moneymaker for everybody in the world.
No, that's the thing. It's one thing to do them, it's another thing to pronounce that you do them. I just saw, speaking of which, I just saw a Rich Little feature on CBS Sunday Morning, which I DVR for just things just like that. And it was very
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it was very sad.
How old is he now?
He's like 83. At least that's what he admits to.
I thought he was Johnny Carson's age.
I don't know. He might have been a little younger.
Wow.
And they were sort of intercutting with him doing a small, like a pared down audience at the Laugh Factory in Vegas, doing a set there and doing like Andy Kindler impressions. I'm Carol Channing. It's like he has to say, W.C. Fields. Yes. He has to say the fucking names because the people.
Thank you, W.C.
Because
Fields.
it's 50 years past these impressions primes. He could even do Johnny Carson, and people will have no idea. So it's sad, and he's doing Nixon and fucking Reagan, and it's just like, oh.
Is he? No, he's not.
And there's no jokes to back him up, even. It's just like there's just sad jokes that.
Is he putting on a false front like he's busy and everything's great?
He's kind of, but he also was like, talking about how at some point he got banned from the Tonight Show and he didn't know why, and this is the first time in like 30 years he's been on network television, and he's all excited. So he's kind of showing his ass at the same time,
And what happened with the Tonight Show?
He doesn't know. He thinks maybe that Johnny just hated that he did Johnny all the time.
Oh, but a lot of times, just like, here's the other part though. Like, Kathy Griffin would say she was banned from Letterman, but she just wasn't being booked. So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fine line. It is,
wow.
To say you are banned is certainly the performer ego kicking in.
Was it his performance in The Late Shift?
Huh?
Was it his performance in The Late Shift?
Was he in The Late Shift?
Mm-hmm. He played Johnny Carson.
Oh, did he?
It was really bad. Well, Dave, I got to admit, if it was me, Dave, I would not take that deal.
They did show a little clip of apparently for David Niven's last movie. He was so cancer-ridden that all of his dialogue was basically whispered, and they had Rich Little do David Niven overdubbing most of the movie. Apparently.
Oh, that's not a nice story. It's a sad story. Maybe Rich Little made that one. I mean, he's got to be. Some of these have got to be made up. He's got that little Jay Leno side to him. It's a wonderful business. He also has a voice that sounds like his regular voice he made to sound like a celebrity, right?
Well, no, he's just Canadian, so it just has nothing.
I'm really getting more and more fascinated with him now. Of all the things he's done, I think we got to put I might have to have a viewing party for him.
I think we should certainly watch the Rich Little Christmas Carol.
I got to see that again. That's 20 or 30 years old, though, right? Or 40 years old, maybe, right?
Close, yeah, probably close to 40 now.
Well, it's a rough field doing impressions.
It is.
I'm not saying that to replace your current stings. Are you still enjoying your multi-track thing, or is like, I'm done?
Now it's just as needed. Now that we've built up the library for our most needed stings, and as they get stale, I'll rotate them out. But that's more about like, oh, I'm tired of doing this. I have to do something else.
Hey, I've been stale. You haven't rotated me out.
Try though I might.
I just got completely tired of my own self-deprecating humor.
Yeah,
I'm really horrible. Get it? I can't stop it.
I'm the worst. Love me.
Hey, cho-cho-cha-cha-ching, cho-cho-cha-cha-ching. Look, here's the thing. I have more did you want to go into another topic? I have topics.
All right, bring it on.
I don't got nothing.
Right.
I haven't been watching the news.
No. Were you helpful in San Diego?
Yes.
Good.
So we're hoping things. And you are in the same. You're still in the same position, right?
We're in the same position, though a little further down the road than before.
Why don't I just get it that we're not going to talk about it and stop alluding to it? Look, I don't want to bring up any things that are going on, but how's everything in the you know what I'm talking about area?
Well, I think it's nice for the hey, cut us some slack sort of thing.
Although I cannot say enough about how great I think the concept of hospice is, and the fact that I guess they always had it, but our country was very much in don't bring it up, don't tell someone they're sick.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, and I've probably said it before, but this has reminded me, and Allison and I have talked about this now, is if you can find a residential hospice and being at home isn't the be all and end all to you, fucking do it. Because
I got you.
It's so hard to take care of someone in home hospice because you're in charge of having caregivers there for the most part.
Yes.
They have people that check in and that you can call and all that, and they give you gear and equipment and stuff that you need. But there's still like a lot of stress and nowhere to escape if you're living with the person who's dying. So Alice and I both agreed that, once it's no longer, when you get to the hospital bed in your house, once it's no longer your bed,
right,
then, you can move me.
I think the only exception to that I know was with my sister because she loved her hospice and she really did die at home in the way she wanted to.
Yeah, well,
but she was also like a doctor by the time she was done.
Yeah, and you have to decide if it's I don't think it's wrong for it to be important to you.
Right.
But if it isn't important to you, you're in better hands in a residential situation.
Well, also because the transition's not always easy anyway at home.
Right.
So
I know with my mom, she was in an inpatient situation, and it was
right.
It was lovely and peaceful and humane, and I'm sure there are bad versions of that too, though.
Yeah. Well, I would just tell people, look, I want the morphine. It can be in a home setting. It can be. I just want so many. And first of all, I expect to just die peacefully in the middle of the night, and then the parade starts. But if I am in pain, I want as many drug things as they can give me, and more.
I'm shocked by that.
Really? Because I know what you're saying. I'm someone who doesn't seem to overindulge.
Andy natural Kindler.
Yeah, it's like do I like smoking pot? Yes. Can I go 10 minutes without it? No.
Exactly.
I'm not high now. I am straight as a door. And isn't it said though, if I go, I'm not high now. Well, then what is it then? Tell me what it is.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, we'll cross off that the pot is the main reason why you're screwed up in your head. Have you seen anything good? I still have to see Hacks.
Yeah, you should watch Hacks. You know what? It's been my brain has been such that I've watched a bunch of stuff and it just flows through right now.
Any social activities? You went to coffee the other day.
I went to coffee. Had breakfast with my manager the other day.
Why didn't you tell me you have a manager? You did, probably.
I did, yeah.
I think that was like 5 months back.
Yeah, if not a little more.
Yeah, I remember. Now, yeah. The world's worst liar. Was it 7? Was it like a month back? No, 7. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And are you happy with your relationship? He doesn't listen, right? Or she doesn't listen?
No. No, of course, it's fine.
Josh, I have to take control of both of our destinies.
Yeah.
I really do.
You really should, because I have no fucking hands on the reins right now. Oh, by the way, speaking of not having hands on the reins, my apologies, but the DVD of Michael Debar didn't come out this last week the way I was told it was going to.
Oh, my God.
I'm now told
Why?
it's June 29th. I don't know. There was some manufacturing glitch. And I'm told now it's June 29th. I'm not gonna lean into that date until I'm a little more certain. But I apologize for that. It was I found out yesterday, the actual day it was supposed to go on sale, that it's not on sale.
All right, well, heads will roll and then they'll put them back on.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize in general to. The other thing I'd like to tell you is that I can't, for some reason, do not enjoy Gavin Newsom, which I don't think anybody likes him, right?
No, I think the dinner thing did hurt his, just sort of like any slack you were cutting him. So
is he going to get recalled?
I think he is going to be in a recall election, but I don't think he's going to lose it.
Oh, so thank you, California. Thank you once again for.
Yes. I
don't know about that referendum thing. Okay, Andy Kindler is officially fishing for material. I don't like that we slowed down, and I don't like that I called attention to it because I was on fire before that.
Yeah,
absolute fire. Oh, I think we.
This is exactly why we try to do the homework on this day. You can't hurt me with silence. I edit.
But I will say in my own defense, see, I didn't understand something when I talked to you.
Yeah.
You said since you get HBO, you get it.
Yeah.
But then you didn't mean I just get it.
You don't automatically get it, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I have to hook it up somewhere. And then I was down driving to San Diego.
I know. It really wasn't a fair joke. It wasn't fair to me. I was just mean. It was just mean. I agree. Yeah.
Why can't you be nice?
I don't mind having made you cry, but I do feel like I was.
No. Well, I mind that because I noticed from true crime that when people try and fake cry, they do a thing where they go like this. And they keep their head down if they are the murderer.
All right.
So you can't see.
This is how we set it up. Hey, Andy, do your 911 murderer call.
What is that? Is that a bit?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's the name of this bit.
Oh, yeah, 911, yeah. Okay, guys, look. I'm going to call and say that Josh is dead. So just everyone quiet, because it has to sound right. Hey, my friend Josh is dead. Please send somebody immediately, Dad. I don't think he's breathing. Please come fast. I'm very sad. Do you hear it in my voice?
And death scene.
I thought my acting was not my acting per se,
Yeah.
but my general vim and vigor wasn't bad there.
Yeah, we call that the level of commitment, and you had it, my friend.
And that's the thing, that I don't like to toot my own horn. But people like working with me because I listen. I don't try to dominate conversations because of insecurities.
Right. I don't celebrate myself for the tiniest of successes.
Yeah. I'm not frightened as if like Robin Williams would get by not getting laughs if there's more than 3 seconds of silence. That's not me.
No.
I don't take things personally.
No.
And even if I'm not, the thing that is nice about me is that I may not.
Wait, let me jot this down. Hold on.
You ready?
Yeah.
Is it, because it's something new you're learning? I just want to let you know, when you're telling me a story, I'm listening. I get it. My wife says it to me all the time. She goes, Andy, the thing I love is how present you are. You're here. And that's what's good.
Yeah.
She also said to me that what turned her on about me was she wanted to find a guy that she would have to repeat the same thing to 7, 9, 12, 15 times.
Right.
And so it was like for love at first sight.
Well, and that's how maybe that the similarly thing is your retaliation.
I think it's funny, even when you did it. No, but it is I do feel like, you know how everybody does worry about turning into their dad.
Yeah.
So I do those type of things, like annoying songs I sing.
Because negative attention is just as good as positive attention to you.
You're the worst therapist. I gotta get a new therapist. You're supposed to spin it around at the end and go, and that's not healthy. But you're like, because you don't care. Spit on you or shake your hand, you're good.
That's right. As long as it's about you.
You could do some damage if you were I fear I might do some damage one fine day, but I would not be convicted by Here's how much I don't like bathroom humor in that song. 4 a.m, crapped out, yawning.
Tapped out.
He's not talking about going to the bathroom.
Tapped out is the lyric.
It's worse. I thought he was saying crapped out, and then I really go, why is he telling us that? And I thought it was from craps.
Yeah, no, tapped out and yawning.
Why can't I get it doesn't say cracked?
You are becoming your father more and more.
I know. I know, but I think that my fear about becoming my parents doesn't stop you from becoming your parents. I don't know what does, though.
Mindfulness.
Yeah. It's a little thing called being a human, Andy. Maybe you heard of it.
Getting in control of your actions.
You never used maybe you heard of it for real, right? We're not those kind of people.
I probably have, but it never lodged in there.
I can't, I need to write that down. Yeah. There's something going around recently. It's called a pen. Look it up. I am very happy. I pulled this one out of the fire again. Unbelievable.
Right.
I'm so proud of myself. Can you put this one to nominate for the Peabody?
This is someone prancing around at the 22-mile mark of the marathon.
Is that when they're celebrating because they think they can finish?
Yeah.
And that's when the wall comes, right?
That's right.
And then when did it hit to you? Now, for me, it hit earlier, the 17th mile. Actually, at the 25th mile of my fourth marathon, I had more energy.
Yeah, I find the starter pistol is still echoing in the air when I hit the wall.
I would have, under no circumstances, ever agreed to run a marathon, nor do I think it's something you should do, nor does it sound like fun. I used to run 10Ks, and when I say I used to run 10Ks, I ran 2.
2 10Ks?
Yeah. And so that's total of 20. Those were fun. I liked running. At one point, I liked running, and I said...
And yet the marathon thing is total anathema to you.
Oh, no. I don't think that's good for you. I actually think it's terrible. I think I would die if I tried to train for a marathon. Yeah, I don't think you're meant to run 26 miles. So 6.2 miles, that's a good thing to train for.
Right.
I'm not going to get in an argument with you because I know you're a big marathon fan.
Had you not been in another running event, your whole marathon scoring thing would have held up a lot better.
Well, I always wanted to be, because I was so close to getting under a 4-minute mile. I can't tell you. Oh, I tried everything.
But then I had to pull over because I was sleepy.
Get it? People get it? I was driving. No, but it used to be like the sprinters, your famous, like Bob Hayes or they thought marathon or any distance people were nuts. Why? Why would you continue round and round the track? Is what they would say.
Huh.
Huh. What is Chuck Todd? I'll say the same thing, but now you answer like Chuck Todd.
Okay.
So, why do you think he's still, why is he still hired? Why is he still there? Who does he appeal to? Who is the network going? Whatever you do, you can't get rid of him.
I don't know.
All right. Such a boring topic.
He's got the goods.
I'm starting to agree with you that the topics I think are interesting. But, there is not, I don't know if the listeners don't know, but why could they care? But there's no Montreal this year. I mean, there's no speech.
Well, there's both, right?
There's no Montreal, but they're having me host a show in L.A.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, like with, they're going to, somewhere. And so they're going to have like a show in New York, a show in L.A., all this kind of thing. But I'm actually relieved to not have to write it.
Sure, of course.
It's tiring after 27 or 30 years, or whatever the hell it was.
I know. It's like your New Year's Eve. Everyone gathers to watch you drop the ball. Am I right?
Why didn't we have that one?
I did for the file for this year.
Well, it's coming back next year, they said, for the 40th anniversary. I think that if they were going to do if they were doing anything virtual, they would have done it, but they're not doing any of that virtual stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was kind of weird, all that stuff. I mean, it's like, Judd Apatow interviewing Kevin Hart. It's hard to make those events.
Yeah.
I'm not putting down Judd Apatow because secretly, even though I claim to have lost these grudges with people, I still have these grudges.
Right. But
I heard that it's better to pretend that you don't have them. So I say, you know what? That's all gone. Actually, I don't have a feud with Judd Apatow, but I've decided that I'd like to rekindle my feud with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Because he's so unpleasant.
I do really think you need to call it Rekindler. Your feud.
What I call what?
It's rekindling your feud, not rekindling. In this case.
That's really good. Why are you so funny and I'm so pedestrian? Hello? That took you too long. You're not, Andy, at all. Andy, you're funny. You're funny.
You are pedestrian, but you're like the Beatles crossing Abbey Road.
Oh, I just want to tell you, I got that joke now. Because they're pedestrians like in a crosswalk. Now, everybody said Paul was barefoot because he's dead. But why was Paul barefoot? You thought it'd be funny?
Because he kicked off his shoes for that particular take.
Not because Billy Shears replaced him?
No, I've seen the pictures of him with the shoes on the side. There's over how everything is now is a tweet You know, so I've seen all these other photos from the Abbey Road shoot where some he's got shoes on, some he doesn't.
God damn it! You know, it's like it was one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite. No, I never actually bought into the thing, but I loved that they left no clues. Now, do you think that they did kidding around clues in all these albums, or everybody reverse engineered that hand behind them means?
I truly believe it was all reverse engineered. Except for Glass Onion, where he says the walrus is Paul.
Right, that's right, because he was fooling around a little bit with him there. I'm glad that I'm never going to be hired to be a critic or say something interesting about.
You know, but the priest, gravedigger, mortuary corpse doesn't really hold up under scrutiny, I don't think.
What do you mean? I don't know that part of it.
That's what they are all supposedly dressed like on Abbey Road.
Oh, stop it. I thought that finally went too far for me. Oh, come on. I don't mind the other stuff.
That's why the barefoot made him dead.
What?
Oh, God. It's hard sometimes to have conversations.
So in other words, every single outfit of everybody on there?
Yes.
Well.
George is wearing denim like Leno. He's the gravedigger. John's wearing a white suit like a priest.
Right.
And Ringo's wearing a long dark coat like an undertaker.
Come on. You know what? Maybe that would not have
Paul
persuaded.
Dead.
Paul dead. But what would be the point of continuing on the band with someone who I just can't believe he looks exactly like Paul? You know, I was a big Billy Shears fan in the
I know.
I can't even come up with a lull music. Don't hang up with me because I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
So sick of it. Disappointed. Oh, I saw that show Hacks and I.
Troubles tonight. Take it slow. Time slips away when you hold it too tight. Ooh, louder than thunder, a voice in my heart tells me there's nothing to fear. All of the answers here in the dark will appear. Just hidden by years. All things come in time. The answers are here. They're just hidden by years. Life goes on. We'll put the pieces together again. I'll be here to follow this road wherever it ends. All of the shadows run from the light, gone like yesterday's tears. One by one, the treasures appear. Ooh, they're just hidden by years. All things come in time. The answers are here. They're just hidden by years. from here. One by one, your dreams will appear. Ooh, just hidden by years. All things come in time. The answers are here. They're just hidden by years. Ooh, your dreams will appear. All things come in time. The answers are here. They're just hidden by years.
Are you there?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I didn't have to hang up the phone.
Okay, good.
Did you think it was an aggressive move?
I didn't know if there was any emotional heft behind the move or just
Just
sort
stupidity.
of panic. Okay, one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad, so I'll try to carry that throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
So how's it going? So we're here. We're on. We're on.
We're on.
Well,
I just felt I'm gonna backstory it.
Are you going to back announce it?
I'm gonna back announce what happened.
Yeah.
Is I wanted to sort of gently introduce the fact that my mother-in-law passed away the other day.
Right.
And Andy kind of came right out of the gates with it in a way that I wasn't ready to frame it yet.
Yeah.
So
that makes total sense.
So rest in peace to my mother-in-law, Liz Davis, who lived till 90 last week and lived in Dublin, London, New Delhi, and Los Angeles.
When did she live in Dublin?
She grew up in Dublin.
Oh, wow. So you're going to get mad at me, but she was around for the Troubles.
Well, but she wasn't in Northern Ireland.
Right, but I thought you were going, wow.
I assure you, Andy, they had their own troubles.
Oh, wow. So what was the other place she lived in New Delhi?
In New Delhi, yes.
I don't even know where that is. Is that India?
That's India, yeah.
You know, I lived in Queens and they had a lot of old delis.
Kanahora.
That's not bad for when you're morning humor. That's good morning humor.
It is. Well, there's you can't have a death without deli food.
That's absolutely true. 90 years old. My mom would have been, I forget. If my mom was alive today.
Yeah.
And you know what? If my mom was alive today, she'd still be annoying me.
All right.
I guess
if she was alive today, you'd feel really guilty for the backlash you felt against her since she died.
How about this? Well, I'm sure you didn't have this with Allison's mom. You know, I know she passed away, and I'm very sorry she passed away. But I'm sure she wasn't constantly on you. And I couldn't. My acting's bad. It's hard to act this morning.
Yeah. Did you just say morning? By the way,
is it? Is this like a thing where if I say the magic word, morning?
I'm just
afternoon?
saying, you said in the morning, and it's after 2. So I was just making sure.
What are we both? My dad
knew where you were and what you were doing.
Would my dad come to you in a dream too?
Yeah.
And you said, "Can you help me out, Larry?" He goes, "Which way did I come in? Is that what happened?"
And I went, yeah, rotten, dirty swindler. I get it.
I can't believe you would treat my dad like that after the magic of having him into your dream.
Yeah, Larry, you got my nose. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Larry, you shouldn't have gone into.
How about this? Why don't you keep my nose? Okay.
Yeah, Larry, you never got over going into business with your with Uncle Alan. Yeah, Larry, you held on to that.
Good move.
Nice going.
Good move on the Alan thing, Larry.
Yeah, Larry. You know what was great? 2 weeks before you passed away, still talking about Alan. It's like a roast of someone dead.
Glad you had a central regret.
Oh, well, it is very sad.
It is sad.
It's not as sad as me launching it into it. Now I don't, there's certain things
I didn't want you to feel bad, but I didn't want to continue. I didn't want to continue on that.
You did a wonderful job.
Rocket sled ride.
You did a wonderful job, and not.
I felt an interrogation coming on, and I just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, and not that it matters, but I didn't do a bad job recovering from it.
No, you're back already, baby.
Except I did hang up the phone.
Yeah, you panicked a little bit, but.
Well, if I don't panic, or I panic. Josh, yesterday
panicking makes it real.
I was panicking, or as I call it, Thursday. Well, it wasn't as funny as I'd hoped. So,
what is really? Come on.
Is there anything else that, without me getting into interrogation mode?
Yeah.
Because who needs it? So was there anything you'd like to relate about the last? I don't want to ask you questions like my mom, but is there anything you'd like to tell us about the process or anything?
She ultimately died peacefully and, without incident. But, there were behind the scenes incidents in terms of managing her care and stuff, but at no point did she ever not have what she needed. So it's kind of like, whatever happens behind the curtain is fine at a play,
Yes.
So, so that was
bringing up an interesting, bringing up a thing that people should know, that whenever someone's in the hospital or anything, although hospices tend to, I think, run better or.
Well, this was home hospice, so it's a whole other.
I forgot that. Yeah. Oh, because you recommended not doing this.
I really do recommend that. I'm more assured in that. Ultimately we ended up having to switch hospice services about 3 hours before she died. And,
oh God.
Luckily we got what we needed to help her exit easily. And, But, they're very willing to leave you on your own to manage the situation on the ground, even when, I mean, that's not true of everybody, but in the case with this hospital system, it wasn't working out for us.
Right. Because my sister had home hospice and she was fine, but her thing also.
Well, they were replaced by really great people who,
Yeah. Yeah, but still, man, that must be so. Now, who, did you have to, I mean, was anybody taking charge of dealing with that stuff, or was it just hard?
It was by committee, but Allison did the rage-filled yelling at the first company. So. And I did the rage translating on the ground at one point, but she really took care of it.
And when she it must be it's kind of the way.
We also had a caregiver that we had worked with my mother-in-law's husband, who died a couple of years ago, as we discussed on the Death Show, Death Spiral. So he was a godsend, and we brought him in before we even were in hospice care, and he provided leadership for us at some crucial junctures where we just go like, what do we do? And he said, you do this. And we go, okay, we're doing this now.
That's just unbelievable that you had to go. And not unbelievable, but in fact, it's believable, but just in terms of making the situation more stressful and painful.
But, as I often say about these things, that amid all of the shitstorm, there's always some beauty to be had in these experiences, and that was certainly true here. There was a lot of family working together, and not a typically functional family,
right?
Who and we had plenty of speed bumps, but we got past the bumps, and the bumps never became the thing. So
yeah.
That was all good, and Allison, I really believe, got what she needed from her mother at the end, which wasn't always the case during her life, but it really, it closed the storyline in a really good way for Allison, I think. So
that's nice.
So you see the best of people sometimes in these situations, and for the most part, that's what happened. So
yes. You do see the best people. I'm just thinking about how there was on the way to my grandfather's my grandmother's funeral, how my brother got in a big argument with my grandmother. It was somebody else. It must have been my grandfather. My first grandfather, because we were kids. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We were all kids, and my brother got in this horrible argument, and the guy was like yelling at my brother, and so I think probably both things happen, right? Like people get stressed out at the most. Of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can see the worst in people too. But
yeah. I mean, not that was the worst in my brother, but
no,
not at all. It was more the worst in
and the other thing
situation.
Is, anger is the first stage of grief, and so it comes out sideways in these situations too.
Like and I remember my brother was whatever he was doing, he was being a wise guy. And the guy goes, "Hey, cut that out," He goes, "Don't tell me what," and then so my brother right into, "Don't tell me how to whatever."
Right.
And then my father had to come along. "Don't you?" My father, of course, yelled at my brother ultimately, which is the way it should go.
Right. I mean,
really,
my big thing is in these situations is generally, I mean, behavior is one thing, but feelings, feel what you need to feel because,
yes.
I'm very much against the idea of dramatic correctness, as I've talked about. I'm sure, there's this sort of, this is how they do it in movies and how you're supposed to act at this point, and that's not how the feelings don't always come in that order,
Well, especially
when someone's barely close to death, and the only practical thing to wish for is that they die soon, so that they don't have to suffer. But then you find yourself wishing this person is dying and feeling guilty about that if you let yourself.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm just like, you got to feel what's gonna come through, and not feel bad about it.
No. Yeah, I think that's I just remembering things that happened when my father had passed, and but he was in the hospital. I think my mother had taken too much. She was taking too much Xanax at the time, and it's just like my sister and I were saying, "Oh, I wonder where my what is my dad up in the room yet?" And then clunk, hear my mother collapse, just fall down, just try to walk from one area to another, and just collapse on the floor. I mean, that seemed funny to me at the time.
Sure.
She lived past that.
If it ain't funny, what are you going to do with it otherwise?
And Xanax is one of those drugs where you can get addicted. Obviously, can get addicted to it. Thank you, Dr. Strangelove. Thank you, Dr. Oz. Thank you, Mehmet. Yeah, because my mother, before, she used to get her speech would get like thick. But then again, she had Parkinson's too, so you can't now, can you tell me?
I didn't understand you saying it that way.
What do you mean?
Simply saying my mother has Parkinson's.
I say. Let me ask you what I'm going to say. What your wise guy say? Maybe you didn't know. Put him in a chair, see? Hit him in the face, see? I guess you didn't know my mother had Parkinson's. Okay. Now say it. Your mother has Parkinson's. Say it, you mug.
Your mother has Parkinson's.
No, Is everybody in those movies like that? Hey, mug.
Sure.
Yeah, see? What do you see? What do you have? What do you hear? What do you say?
Can the balloon juice.
Can the balloon juice. That's the best fake thing I've ever heard. Cut the chin surgery. Cut the chin music I love.
Yeah.
And
I like cut the chin surgery.
Cut the chin surgery. Hey, there's only one problem with your mouth. It keeps. I love those days where people would just tell people to stop flapping their gums.
All right.
It was like they didn't even. There's nothing better to stop someone than just to ignore what they're saying. I don't know what you're doing over there, but stop spitting juice. All right. I'm trying to live up to yours.
I had the force of Mystery Science Theater behind me on
I know. I'll never be. Oh, I decided though that the only time I am a willing improv person, like yes and, is if any time Susan says something in her sleep out loud, I go, I am right there. Yeah. Oh, she goes like whatever she was on, and I go, oh, really? And why? He goes, because it's not the same. They're not using the same ball. I said, oh, what happened to the other ball? And just hoping. And every once in a while, every few months, she'll add on to what I'm saying.
Yeah. Comedy for none.
I don't know what I think is going to happen. I think I'm going to have a experimental breakthrough, right?
All right.
If I can get into her dream.
Sure.
And learn something about that area of life.
I think you should start doing YouTube videos of this.
Yeah, that you know who would like that?
For sure, Susan.
She's such an exhibitionist. Do you know how many times I'm doing a selfie and she goes,
My
let me in
life's an
there.
open book.
I'm trying to do a cameo. Let me in there, she says. I want everybody to see me in my new jumper.
I'm your fang. I'm your fang.
Hey, he doesn't talk about me enough. Your wife doesn't care about you talking. Doesn't want you talking about her either.
My wife loves when I talk about her. For real.
Oh no, she does. That's right. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. My wife does too. But like, if I get,
I've had to sit through so many bad tellings of my jokes about my wife from my wife to other people.
Yeah, that you had to put a stop to it.
Yeah,
and do it the right way.
exactly. That is one of the hardest parts of comic marriage, is misquoting of jokes.
Yes, it is, and many a great marriage has ended with
No
someone
great
shooting.
marriage has ended that way.
I remember when George Burns shot Gracie in the foot because her timing was off.
Enough, Gracie. Enough with the stupid.
Here's my George Burns, right?
Gracie and I would slip out behind the theater once in a while and blow a doobie.
You do everybody. You do everybody.
The man of a voice.
The man of many voices that all sound like Rich Little.
Yes.
Rich Little does everybody as Rich Little. I'd like to do Jay Leno as Rich Little.
That actually does kind of sound like Rich Little.
Because me doing an impression badly might get to Rich Little area.
I just hope it doesn't get back to Rich Little.
That's true. I don't want that.
You don't want
Not
that.
much
You don't
is
want that
back
kind of heat.
Did you just send me an art? Did you send me the article about him not that long ago?
No, we talked
he was
about
being-
him the other day, though.
Yeah, he was being interviewed.
Yes.
I have two pieces of not bad news, but relatively annoying. No, it's nothing like that.
I think
Okay, but I have two
my
pieces.
bad news chops are actually pretty sharp right now, so go for it.
Okay, so here's the bad news. And in terms of you,
Okay.
I ran out of Adderall
Okay.
before this session.
I'm sorry.
So I did not try to compensate. Wait, don't you think it hurts it?
Not so
thought
fun,
you'd-
baby.
I thought you'd have the opposite reaction.
I'm so happy.
I thought it was the timing of the Adderall. That the Adderall was crucial.
No, I think
just as long as I
the
come
Adderall.
on to it.
I think the Adderall works against us, frankly.
So you're saying now that you would prefer that I do the show without my ADD medicine and without. Well, I guess if I'm not doing the ADD medicine, the smoking or the edibles won't help.
What do you mean?
If I don't do my Adderall and then I start doing gummies or something like that,
Yeah.
that's going to be worse during
Yeah.
the session.
Yeah. Please don't. How about that?
So but you'd rather, but no, I'm now going to, I'm fake angry about the whole thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to be taking Adderall. I think I'm fantastic on Adderall. Well, first of all, I couldn't survive without it to do things.
Right.
I mean, I could survive with that. I'm surviving without it right now. I'm itching.
Yeah. You're doing good.
I called a guy down the street to see if he could, but they're not around anymore, those guys.
Honey, could you get this monkey off me?
Yeah. Hi. Monkey off your back. So that was one piece of bad news, and I had another piece of bad news.
No, that's not, by the way. By the way,
Okay. Okay. One good
you're
news.
still at no pieces of bad news.
And then the other piece of bad news was that I was never able to, I was in San Diego. I had to go to San Diego. And so was not able to see the hacks thing, which I want to see because it's important that I see it as a person. But it does not come through on my Roku, and then all my passwords got lost. But if you would do me the courtesy.
Was there
of
a dog involved with these passwords?
My dog. No, my dog. I don't call it my dog. I go, my dog.
Okay.
My dog ate my homework. Oh, yeah, I had a problem with my dog.
If it's any solace, I never really had any firm belief that you were going to watch it.
But not why? But because you gave me something that was hard to do?
Well, because I knew that extra step was going to be the thwarter. I knew.
Did you really know? Why didn't you tell me back then? Now, no, Andy, it's not going to be. You should have said, it won't be on your Spectrum.
No, I thought you understood what HBO Max was.
I kind of did.
Okay.
But I thought if you are a subscriber, why would they? I don't like the idea that I'm being blocked from HBO material on the basis of I haven't signed up for their service. Now I'm really steamed about it.
This is discrimination.
And first of all, I don't know if I've said this before, but they're basically saying that their network sucked. Oh, no, don't worry. It's not just the horrible Discovery that you haven't been watching for years. It's Plus. Now it's good. Well, that was kind of a laugh and a cough, or it could have been a cough if you needed the cough.
It was a percussive, dismissive laugh.
I've never heard that from you before.
It was sarcasm, really, in laugh form.
Oh,
yes.
Pickle. When is it going to be? Are we close to? Pickle says.
Well, now that we've officially established that there's no homework, we should do homework. We watch a movie, then we give our take. I guess we can move on to letters.
But you could do it on your own, but then that would block me from being able to do it, which I want to do. I want it to be next week's homework, because I think between now and next week, I'll be able to either watch it on my laptop. See, I don't like to watch things on my laptop. Do you?
I don't mind it, especially if I've made a commitment.
Boy, are you really honing your character? I don't even know what this character is. It's the guy who knows how to get the other guy going constantly.
That's pretty, I like to call it JG Goat Getter.
JG Goat Getter says the top most guilt-inducing of the year. I drove a Nissan Altima to San Diego. It was okay.
Yeah, you told me this, and you had to pull over because you were too woozy.
What is the matter? Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, well, I've been through some shit this week.
Like
okay?
what? Like what? I'm the guy who, once he hears that you've been through tough stuff, still wants you to snap it up and get back to the cobbling. It's Friday. It's the Friday funnies. I like when somebody online this last week said, I bet it was 65 degrees. Ha ha. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like when the 4 or 5 listeners all get together.
And you play insider games.
I like inside jokes.
Inside baseball.
That's what I love. That is what I love. That's why I used to watch Kindler's Corner. You get that one?
No.
Well, you're not from New York. Inside baseball, Kindler's Corner, Ralph Kiner was a famous baseball player.
I know Ralph Kiner is.
And then he became an announcer for the Mets.
Huh.
And he had a show after the baseball game every day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you upset because your sound effects aren't working? And so his show after what kind of show, how would you describe that type of show that's a little inside baseball? It's inside baseball.
A post-game show?
No, inside baseball. No. Inside baseball. This is where I think Susan outside is like, should I call somebody or let's keep going?
Pickles? Pickle says, I deleted my original tweet for this week as it seemed quite pedestrian. Have you ever been a fan of someone or something, but then also embarrassed by the other fans of that thing?
Oh, yeah, like that stopped me from loving Dice. Fans of things can be the determining factor of whether maybe you should even re-examine whether something you like or not.
Yeah, I think that's true. There's probably a lot of bands that I never investigated because I encountered their fans before the music. Yeah.
And then you go, why are you, I thought you were great, but why are you attracting a lot of neo-Nazis to your shows? I heard that, Josh.
What did you hear?
I heard a sound. I think that means you got a voicemail.
No.
Something on your phone.
No.
Oh, give me a clue. Clue.
There was no sound. I don't know what the fuck you heard.
Maybe it was a my end. Oh God, so depressing. I'm gonna look at my phone to see if somebody actually wrote to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was fun. Was that fun for you? You know what? I find myself delightful. My therapist said this is a good thing for me.
Yeah.
Is to find myself delightful in lieu of people either. I said, look, I'm depressed. She goes, why? I said, nobody likes me. People find that I'm unpleasant. Well, why is that? I think it's the things that I'm saying. I think it's how I am as a person. Why are you like that? I can't go on, but I wish I could go on.
But ultimately, she determined that delightful starts at home.
Look, Andy, you've been coming here 3 or 4 years. I wouldn't be friends with you.
Have you been doing your finger guns in the mirror therapy?
Hey, did you do that thing I told you about that I'm good enough? And you got that from Stuart Smalley. Sometimes I get so mad at her. She thinks because I'm a comedian that I'll like Stuart Smalley suggestions.
I figured you were in a disco during that era of the show.
I was too young to actually go to an actual disco.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Well, I was in 69. Hey, I just realized in that song he's two different ages. You ready?
Yeah.
In 65, I was 20. No, in 65, I was 17. Then, cut to the later part of the song. In 69, I was 21.
It adds up.
I love that song. He's running on empty. I like that song better than Against the Wind. To me, they seem like similar songs.
They do. It's bad car conditions.
Did you ever wish you looked like Jackson Brown? See, I think he was handsome. Maybe I'm gay. I do have a tendency to go, boy, I wish I looked like this guy because I love the way his thighs are or something like that. It's so trippy. He's got buns of steel.
Don't do your fake gay voice. Do not do your gay voice.
Not? Hello, I am a gay choreographer from a Robin Williams bit. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
It's only good to do gay guys when they're bashing the Jews.
I mean, it's inappropriate, but Paul Lynde going on an anti-Jewish tirade is funny.
The dirty, filthy scoundrel vermin.
He didn't want to go right. He didn't want to go to vermin, so he went to scoundrel.
No, I didn't. I just didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
I needed another word to form it.
What if he just started answering his Hollywood Squares things with the Jews? You know, he just got a bit more angry.
What are the Jews, Peter?
What? What's wrong, Paul? That wasn't the question. Do we know that these things are facts? Because these things
we don't. We took it from one listener's word. I
don't feel so good. I smell Jew.
Anytime you give me an opportunity to spew anti-Semitism through someone else's mouth, I'm in.
Well, I hope someone from the Lynn family contacts us.
Yes. Chaotic Neutral says, I have a joke that's partially from Twitter, and I don't know if it's kosher to use it on stage. It's not a coup unless it comes from the coup d'etat region of France. Technically, Trump attempted a sparkling putsch.
Well, what's that from?
Originally, it was sparkling authoritarianism. Thoughts?
Oh, well, but is he saying it's similar to another joke?
No, he's saying, is it a good joke? And I'm saying, yeah.
It's a very good joke.
It's solid, absolutely.
Solid joke. The coup d'etat, and very clever and everything. It's not an actual coup unless it comes from the coup d'etat. It's French, and I would say that I give it 5 stars. Excellent.
There you go. Like a bottle of cognac from the cognac region of France.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you.
Don't call me Boopsie. Says, in 2018, I was in Bruce Springsteen and Randy Newman's breakfast cafe, and Liza Minnelli burst through the front door and declared, "That's what I'm here for, the boss and Randy's crepes." I am so sorry.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I would say excellent effort,
That's
I would say
that's very much the in the vein of two all beef patties, special Josh, Lester cheese, picking bunions on a Sesame Street bus kind of joke.
And it's like it is similar to Cinderfella, where the comics would do Cinderella backwards as a bit.
Yeah.
As a bit joke. But I still thought I would say the clever energy was up to the roof.
Tweet Bahara says, Josh, great job on the new theme song. Also, the It's Not TV Sting music is so catchy I started dancing and sprained my schmeckle.
It's time for me to give a little listen-see to everything. You've sent me ones, but I got to listen to it.
Yeah, you should hear them in context over the last.
Yeah.
And
be part of the show. Be part of the show for a change.
Yes, why not?
Well, at least I don't have another show.
Speaking of which, nice of you to say, Tweet Bahara.
Do you have anything that's related to the Paroche? The Paroche is on fire!
I don't, because we have that live one.
We have the real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duckman, or Duckman, I'm not sure which.
I've not heard that name, unless I have.
Hey, J. Elvis Weinstein, is there a funniest home video that you remember fondly or will never forget? It's, when you call me on it, it's hard. But there are absolutely videos that will pop into my head in various contexts.
That's kind of cool. You know what I also think made me laugh was the fact that you went after Bob Saget as part of your job. And
yeah, I was pretty proud of that, actually.
Did anybody ever say anything?
Falsetto Animal Theater. I don't know what he thought. I know that I met him when it was happening, or ran into him when it was happening, with another guy who worked on both versions. And he wasn't nice to me. But I don't know that that's an uncommon Bob Saget experience.
Well, it's also hard when you nail someone that hard on the fact that they were doing comedy things and they were kind of hacky.
Yeah.
But I meant anybody at the show level.
It was still petulant of me, but I don't really feel guilty about it.
But the people at the show, anybody at the show go, hey, lay off of Bob.
No, because by that point they were also fucking sick of him. He was gone, and they were sort of like, okay.
And as you know, I've worked with him before. He's very sweet. He can be a very, very, very sweet man.
Yeah, I think when he had 2 shows in the top 10, I think things might have been a little different.
Oh, that's got to be bad. Oh, I got a little sick thinking about that. Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Who can I say something sexually inappropriate to start out?
That story where he goes top of the call sheet, whatever that one you told me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there was a lot more of that kind of thing.
I think there was. And I laughed like I had never heard. I was like, this guy kills me. He's aware of the positions on the sheet. I'd never heard that before. I was loving it. But yes, I think we can imagine, just like the director who yelled, "Let's take it again" from the pilot. He probably had done that before.
Shecky Flop Sweat says, so it turns out that Cheeto Jesus is even more powerful than Elon Musk at tanking Bitcoin. Let's gather around our laptops and see what happens when James Mason says something good or bad about Bitcoin.
Well, I have to
say, I'm not necessarily sold on the entire blockchain technology, but...
oh, really? Why?
Well, after the recent hacking by the Russian hackers and the ability for the FBI to then go steal the money back, I'm questioning whether the infallible security is even really that.
This is what you spend your time doing? You're a dead celebrity? And this is what... I mean, I thought you would be doing, like, haunting things.
I'm haunting my accountant.
Oh, I like that kind of thing. I like that kind of thing when you're forced into an observation like that.
See, that's what can happen with improv, Andy.
Yes, and I think it would be good, especially if I had something like I could add to it. But I can't right now. So wouldn't it also be funny if I said, You're doing improv, huh? I figured it out. Fourth wall.
And scene.
Did you see the fourth wall guy? He just started talking to me during the bit.
My dad opened a small fourth wall business.
Had that, what happened?
I don't know. I didn't have a punchline. God damn it. Wouldn't it have been great if I did, though?
It would be good. Because that'd be like a magic trick.
It would be an easier video joke because then I could just turn to camera and say I got nothing.
Well, stop revealing every one of my tricks. Hey, you know what happens, Josh? If I don't have something funny to say, I kind of make fun of myself afterwards. I love to see me do that, though. It's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Dan Marsh says, I'd like to hear Josh and Andy's history with video games. Did you go to arcades? Own any of the early consoles? Play any of the early PC games? What are your favorites? And do you play anything now, even if it's just on your phone?
I thought we've talked about this before, but maybe not. I played no video games ever, and so like the only thing I ever played was Pong and the one where the thing eats the other one, Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And so I ended at pinball machines. I never went past the pinball, and I didn't even like them that much.
Well, my story is very different.
Oh, were you wearing an ascot?
Yes. With Mario on it. My history with video games goes back to a Pong machine at Shakey's Pizza. Then we got a home Pong machine, which played both Pong and hockey, which was basically Pong with a smaller goal. I played throughout the stand-up arcade game era. I played a shit ton. And they were everywhere then. When Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and those games, they were at convenience stores, they were at gas stations, and so I was constantly, if there was going to be more than 2 minutes to wait around, I was in my parents' pockets for quarters.
And then when you were stand-up too, you saying it was still going on?
Not really when I was a stand-up at that point.
Oh, I thought you said stand-up. I must have misheard.
But and then I had we had an Atari 2600. We had an Intellivision. I've had a Sega Genesis. I had a PS2, and I have a PS4, and I had an Xbox in there somewhere too.
Is the current state of the art the PS4?
The PS5 is the current state of the art.
Oh,
but I've over the last few years, I've developed a phobia of video games. And the amount that they suck me in ends up bothering me.
In what way? Like you sense that? Why am I staying here so long?
It makes me mad that I can't apply this work ethic to other things.
Does it ever become less fun?
It sometimes does, but some games are really fun and engrossing, and it just eats up time like editing does. It's just like hours can fucking go by. And it just feels like when I'm done, it just feels like such empty calories that I don't feel good.
Yeah.
So for a long time, I played a lot of sports games because they end.
I see. Yeah.
And now I still play. I play this pool, billiard pool type game on my laptop sometimes. But other than that, I just have this real, like during the pandemic, I turned on the machine once just to make sure it was working, and then I still didn't play. I have this real weird aversion going on. I
think it totally makes sense to me. But also that your relationship with technology changes too, but I must have a missing gene or something. I hate when people say that, so I apologize.
Yeah.
But I must have had a missing, or just maybe, cause I loved pinball, but then not that much to really apply to it.
I really liked pinball.
Yeah. So, I don't know, the thing that, and I know it's hacky to even say it, but like people still doing crossword puzzles. I just don't understand it.
I do.
It makes me sad.
I do the New York Times crossword puzzle. I'm sorry. I'm sad.
No. That's not what I meant. Not the crossword puzzle. I apologize. Those are great. I mean, actual puzzles.
Yeah. Like jigsaw puzzle?
Jigsaw, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. I very much misspoke because I actually,
That's
my father.
That's a lot like adult coloring.
It really is. It's exactly what it is. But no, my father was really good at the crossword puzzle, and I really did enjoy it. But I not enough to get into it. But then towards the end of his life, I just looked a couple of things up, and he didn't know.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, walked into another room, then came back. Dad, I think it's Louis Pasteur. Kid, you got it.
It just hit me like a bolt of lightning.
Is that movie good about crossword puzzles, or was it?
Which one? The doc with Will Shortz?
Yes.
It was okay. I mean, you certainly learned something about that world. Whether you're better off for knowing it, I don't know.
Yeah. I also like Boggle for a brief time period. I'm really hard. I don't enjoy board games, and I do sometimes feel bad about it. Because my father loved the game. He loved every kind of board game or bridge and everything.
Yeah. Allison and I have tried a few times. We've played Trivial Pursuit and stuff a couple times, but Allison does not like to lose, and neither do I. But
That's so funny to me.
I don't get mad. She might. So, and I don't go down easy, and I don't do the let someone win thing. That's why, because we have a pinball machine, and it stopped getting played because I was unbeatable to her.
Well, you do know the story of my brother, who was an excellent athlete, beating me in ping pong and then telling me it was with his left hand.
Yes, it infuriated you.
The joy that and during the game when I was like, doing pretty good today, doing pretty good.
Did you notice I had the paddle tied to my penis?
Just to toy with you. I'm just toying with you at this point. It's gone beyond the game. It's to make you feel less than.
Right. If I could reach across and hold your head while I'm beating you at ping pong, I would. Andy says, enjoyed the attempt at shop talk to start the last episode, and what an opportunity to bring up season 8, episode 11 of Frasier, featuring Gruber. His shop teacher remains one of the more memorable guest roles and worth the time of anyone Gruber curious.
Did he do more than the one shot? Did he do like a ongoing thing?
No, he just did the season 8, episode 11.
I got to see that. I love to see him. Gruber is an excellent actor. Everything Gruber does, he's excellent at.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that helps Gruber is that most people write the part going, Gruber would be perfect for this.
Right. Exactly.
Mama Dick III says Seth Dick III was watching a lot of TV at her sister's. She wants to know what a supervising producer does as opposed to a producer. It was a 2002 detective series.
Well, you should answer this because the only one of us who's actually been employed.
I have been a supervising producer more than once.
Yeah, so I would think if I launched into it, especially since I really don't know. So, I think I know.
It truly means nothing in terms of the producerial duties. There's just Writers Guild ranks of writers on staffs, and each one has their own pay level, but what their duties are is more up to the showrunner than their title. But it starts at story editor, it starts at staff writer, then story editor, then executive story editor, then co-producer, then producer, then supervising producer, then co-executive producer, then executive producer.
Wow, that's a lot. And also, when it's sometimes in TV, doesn't the producer part mean the actual money and stuff like that? The line producing?
Yeah. Well, there's produced by.
Right, and that's usually the line producer.
That's the line producer.
Yeah.
Then everyone else would be credited as producer.
And when the writer is,
and then there's the other one you'll see, which is consulting producer.
Yeah. So
which means someone is working below their quote and doesn't want their credit to be affected. Generally, or it means they work fewer days or whatever. But it often means we couldn't afford this person's regular quote,
Yeah. Yeah. It's never happened with me. Oh, we can't afford Kindler. It's never happened. Never came up.
Greg Kelly has sent a poster for the MGM movie East Side, West Side. And said, this movie poster shows future First Lady Nancy Davis in the arms of our friend James Mason. Any memory of making East Side, West Side, or the mesmerizing Ava Gardner? How was Leroy as a director? A third question? Well, Greg Kelly, thank you for asking. It wasn't a pleasant experience, I have to say. Nancy Davis, she just kept saying no.
That's a good one. That's a good one because that joke is so old, it's new.
Tweet Pahara is back to...
She just kept saying no. Oh, that is beautiful.
Tweet Pahara says, I've got to defend the Kaminsky method, in part. Alan Arkin is great, and the writing is pretty good. Hard to believe that hack Chuck Lorre wrote it. Well,
he didn't write the funny parts, right?
Yeah, my friend Al Higgins is pretty instrumental in that show, I know.
Yeah. I would watch it again because I know what he's saying is true, but I'm not. But sometimes when you're out, and I can't get back in. First, I had a lot of repeating jokes about peeing slowly.
A lot of Abe Vigoda fish jokes.
That's a bad sign. If you have more than one Abe Vigoda reference.
Yeah.
What is it? What are they doing? Weekend at Bernie's over there?
Dan Marsh says, hey guys, not counting surgeries, what are the worst scars you have and how did you get them? I don't know. The only scars I really have are like oven burns and cooking burns, I would say. I have several surgery scars.
Well, the only one that I would even bring to notice is from the knife fight I was in.
Right.
And,
where you got butter on you?
You got butter on me because it wasn't a knife fight. We were fighting over we were fighting over bread. It was good sourdough. What can you do? You know what? I hit the serrated part of the butter knife, scraped his cornea. What are the odds?
Stephen L. the Eighth says, remember that time Howard Cosell was on Preschool Sports Center reporting on that big bout? I can't find my kinescope of it. Can you play yours?
Welcome to preschool. What's the preschool? These kids are too young to be engaging in the pugilistic arts.
The pugilistic arts?
Young man, are you ready for tonight's bout?
Let's watch some pugilism.
Please enunciate better.
Pugilism!
I hate working with these kids. I'd rather work with Tito Puentes or Roberto Dobison of Peru.
I bought my dog.
All right, kid.
Coming back.
All right, that perked me up.
Okay, good. Jumpy Beans.
I was proud of myself for being able to hold a somewhat sounding Howard voice.
Yeah, it was masterful. Jumpy Bean says this isn't a question, but I'm in Lowe's and they just announced on the intercom special assistance needed in Tool World 3 times over the course of 5 minutes. Oh, Paul, special assistance in Tool World, Paul. Yeah, Dave, Tool World. Paul, special assistance is needed in Tool World, Paul. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Tool World.
I say, wow, that got me sexually stimulated in the area that used to get hard.
His penis doesn't work. Wowie, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wowie, woo, woo.
Mike Parrish says Western tanagers are passing through Montana this month. These dazzling yellow-bodied, red-headed beauties make for a few weeks of must-see bird watching every June. Are there any? And there is a photo enclosed of this very bright yellow with a red-head bird.
I thought it'd be ladies. You got me going.
Are there any birds that light up your yard so much you can't look away?
I don't have a yard, so you're going to have to answer this one.
There's probably, in the course of a year, a dozen different species of birds in my yard.
Wow, that's cool. Cool.
There's sparrows and finches and mourning doves and hummingbirds and an occasional woodpecker and crows, and I saw what I believe to be a hooded oriole, but might have been a goldfinch.
Are you an ethnologist or something?
Yes, I'm an ethnopathologist.
When did you get into ornithology? I mean, I'm very impressed.
And once I saw like a big fucking falcon, or hawk, I think is probably what it was, a Cooper hawk. Get take a rodent off my back hedge.
Oh my God.
Which was that was intense.
That's great.
There's ravens and crows, and it's birdie.
It makes me want to be a home. Not really, but it's such a cool thing that you don't get in a condo.
Well, we live in the valley, and there's the wildlife preserve in the basin, so there's a big bird population there. And then there's been weird things, like years ago there was a place called Busch Gardens at the Busch Brewery. And much like the Tampa Busch Gardens, it was like, they had this tropical thing, and then when Busch Gardens closed, they completely released their aviary of tropical parrots and birds, and so there's now an indigenous parrot flock in the valley too and stuff.
Is there any danger to them doing that or no?
I don't know. It was the 70s, so
yeah. We're done with those birds. Maybe they'll like Encino.
But when I lived in Studio City, there we had a couple of big ass macaws park in one of our trees.
Who? Macaws.
Yeah.
Macaws. Okay. And how big are they? They are scary looking?
They'd be scary if they attacked you.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful. They're big multicolored birds.
Oh, I don't know them. Okay, now I got them mixed up. I got a big black crow mixed up with one of those.
No, you were thinking macaw.
I was a recurring character on Macaw in the 70s. I don't know if you remember that. Right after Cannon?
Yeah.
It's Macaw. Easy, Macaw. Stop making bird sounds.
Give me your badge, Macaw.
Give it over, Macaw. Stop pretending you're a bird. That's why we're fine. You're not a bird, Macaw. It's your last name. This ragtag group of police have never got this crazy.
Thursday on Macaw. Wookie Talkie says, did Dennis Miller ever do a Prairie Home Companion?
It's time for an old-time fun-time nap by the radio.
No, I can say for sure he would never have done.
It's good to be here in Lake Wobegon. I got caught up at the diner ordering a powder milk biscuit with a .48 pistol. There's no .48 pistol.
I don't know. It's good. It's 4 more than the 44.
That's right. 47, 48, whatever it takes.
Look, Jojo. Look, Cha-Cha. Look, China. That's how he warms up. Look, Jojo. Cha-Cha.
Choo-choo.
Oh, that's great. Easy, Admiral.
Testing.
Easy.
Testing. The self-loathing narcissist said, is there a movie that is regarded as a classic or otherwise thought to be really good that you don't just dislike but absolutely hate? I'll throw in Sound of Music right off the bat.
I hate that movie so much I won't watch it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
that seems to be the highest form of loathing.
Yes. That you can't even bring yourself. Is that with the doe, a deer, or a female deer?
Yeah. Among other atrocities.
No. I agree with you on that one.
All right. Gone with the Wind can suck my ass, too.
Yeah, it sucks, and it's a racist drivel.
M. Ledsome.
Drunk?
M. Ledsome says, morning, gents. Hope you're both fine and dandy. I'm fine. He's dandy. We're fine and dandy.
Is that what you wrote?
No.
Oh.
I'm Steve Fine. He's Jimmy Dandy. We're Steve and Jimmy. Are you ever...
That's all she said?
No.
Oh.
Are you ever pleased to have your material pinched? Much love as ever. No, of course I'm not happy to have my material pinched.
That is never a day where you go, I must have come up with something good.
That's right. I must be on the right track if he's stealing it.
No, it's always a bad moment.
Yeah.
Not that people have taken they have taken material from me, but doesn't happen all the time because my jokes.
I've had reports of my jokes being stolen by people.
Yeah,
and sometimes I go, no, I've never. They've probably never been in the same room with me, and then I go, nope, yep, they saw me.
Yeah, well, certainly one of the biggest crime. I mean, whatever is like the way people assume. Oh, they both use the same preposition.
Right. The commercials, Savalas. See, it's not TV. It's not TV. It's the commercials that get you. Warren Harding's campaign slogan, "Return to normalcy" in response to World War I and Spanish flu, worked. He was elected in 1920. 100 years later, Biden is here with that slogan implied. Question mark. Isn't it time for a pod break? 213 weeks merits it. Straight weeks merits it.
I didn't even think about that. We're not going to ever have a break because we know that we have to keep time for when things go off the rails.
Right, like a death or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or I just think we have to save it for when one of us dies.
Right. Then we'll take a week off.
Oh, I would love you to do the deathbed show part 1, deathbed show part 2, and then we do some funny sound effects after I'm dead.
And then deathbed show part 3, he won't die. Deathbed show 4, the pillow episode.
And what's the worst? Be the worst if it didn't increase the numbers at all. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the ending we always predicted. It's so bad.
They won't be missed.
Tyson Sainer says, understand that understanding is all there is understanding part of all there is, and all there is at the same time.
Is that one of those things that's a paradox?
I don't know.
You're going to have to email that to me. I'm going to have to look it over.
All right, I'm going to read it.
Thank you, Tyson. And I'll be seeing you
at the movies.
Right.
Ed Kupfer says Netflix added a movies that are 90 minutes or less category, radically increasing its usability. What category would you add to make Netflix more enjoyable? I would go movies with wait what in it.
I'm really scared now that people are using wait what like it's just that's it now.
Yeah, like it's actually in the lexicon now.
Wait, what? And they do it all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's don't you think that's kind of a weird, I guess it's a category. All categories are meant to be categorical, but I think it's an odd thing to have a 90 minutes or less. That would be one of your choices for a film.
I get it though. I mean, that's you kind of want to know what you're,
in for. Right. It's like 4.5 or higher on DoorDash.
Right. There you go. Jimmy, let them eat reefer cake, says, hey, Andy Kindler, consider legalization of reefer at the federal level. Why not? Yeah, that's a real arm twist.
Well, Jimmy, by the way, I would like to thank Jimmy the Reefer Cake. He wrote the song that accompanies my appearance every time on the Majority Report. And I love the song because it starts out with a Jew like Andy Kindler, and et cetera, and so on. Yeah. But it won't probably ever, it might go federal. It probably will go federal.
I think it will eventually, right? Yeah, sure.
Certainly in terms of the class of drug.
Right.
Blowhard, you came out in the weirdest way there. Certainly when you regard the class of drugs. I hate everything about myself.
That was blow a doobie, Hardy.
Technically, no.
Richard Cole says, if I was to buy you a coffee in real life, what would you order? Go to buy me a coffee and whatever and buy these guys a virtual coffee. I did once and I might do it again, he says parenthetically.
Oh, that's a nice pitch.
And then iced coffee, brewed coffee, espresso, latte, cappuccino. What's your coffee? He wants to know.
I mostly go for just light roast And then I actually make my own iced coffee by making my coffee in the morning, and then as it's still drinkable, because once it gets past, if it's too cold, then it starts to smell funny. I put that in the refrigerator, and then hours later, I have a nice little iced coffee. I love coffee, and you know what, Josh? I'm pretty good at only drinking coffee, even without cream.
Yeah.
Because my other way to go would be, I'd like another Coke. Can I have another Coke?
Yeah.
If I had my druthers and it wouldn't affect me, I might drink Coke more.
So God bless you, black coffee is what you're saying?
I don't know what, I wish, I need to have maybe the part of my brain that sums it all up or has a point is missing.
So you're saying you like coffee, you like tea, you like the Java Jive, and it loves you?
That's exactly right.
All right. Jason Park.
You hit it on the head.
A waiter, percolator. Jason Parton says, because I keep losing the thoughts I have for the show, I've taken to tweeting the out to random its numbers. What does that mean? I've taken to tweeting the out to random its numbers. Oh,
All right,
I'm going to start over here. Jason Parton says, because I keep losing the thoughts I have for the show, I've taken to tweeting the out to random TS numbers. Now the probe is, I don't know if I've sent in something already. Should I get a TS journal? Anyway, how are you guys doing today?
I think, well, I'm doing fine. I think we should make it. It sounds like a thing that would fly off the merch shelves.
Yeah.
A TS journal.
I think
you would provide your own information in there.
Right. But in the meantime, until the manufacturers deliver our blank books.
In the meantime, I forgot the question and I forgot where I am, and it's after 3:00, and I'm thinking, am I going to get worse as the next couple of minutes go along?
No,
Maybe the Adderall would help now.
I think you can fucking hold it together for another 5 minutes, okay?
Well, I sense some anger there.
It's tough love.
No, but why tough love? Why can't you just be like, Andy, I know you want to go. I know you haven't had your Adderall, but come on, buddy.
I can't indulge. Yeah, I can't indulge.
Oh, come on, buddy.
I'm not going to
Why
patronize
not?
you.
Why don't you patronize me more?
Okay,
I would love it.
All right, you're a good.
Come
good,
on,
good.
you fella.
You're so good. You're so good. You've been so good.
Can I take a sip of my iced coffee?
Yes, you can.
Aw,
As
thank
a
you.
reward for being so good. You can even moo.
No, thanks. You're too kind. All right, I'm back. You're right. What are you moving? What is it? Moving day?
Yeah, it's moving
Boom.
day.
Boom.
Boom. Stephen L. Yates is back to say, I miss seeing Andy Kindler at Union Hall in Brooklyn in 2019. Are either of you planning an East Coast trip in the near future? I'm touched by Josh's patience and love for Andy every week. Does Andy notice it, or is it like the drops?
What? What does the drops mean?
It means the stings.
Oh. It seems to be, is it, am I ungrateful? I feel ungrateful now. I'm sorry if I have not expressed enough gratefulness.
I think you're okay.
All right. I'm also tired. Did I mention that I'm tired?
But do you notice that I'm showing patience and love for you?
No. My timing was good on that one.
Yeah, that's good.
It
was good.
I think you do show patience and love for me, but not
At least
not
for
always.
the back patting, I do.
Yes, but you are often annoyed by my inability to remember what happened a second ago. It does not. You don't suffer fools gladly.
Yeah, I think I only show an overall patience for Andy.
Yes,
but I don't. I would say case by case, I have no patience for Andy.
You show. Yeah, it's like sometimes me going, I don't know what we're talking about makes you want to shoot me in the head.
Kind of. It just depends how you express it.
Well, you take a gun, load it, and shoot me in the head. Come on, that was as funny as your fake laughing.
Yes, he's dead now.
That was as funny as you fake laughed it. It was so clever. Well, actually, it was clever, not funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like you, I don't know what a real laugh is anymore. Jordy says season 5 has...
I don't. On my cameos, I think I'm fake laughing and I stop it.
Season 5 has been a masterclass in podcasting. You guys are fire emoji. If you bumped off your podcast partner and Columbo came snooping around, which variety of heel would you be? Hey little buddy Johnny Cash type? Angry intolerant Shatner? overly helpful Ruth Gordon.
I think I'm more like a Ruth Gordon-y. No, I'm not.
You're an angry, intolerant Shatner. You know
I'm
it.
an angry, intolerant Shatner. Self-absorbed.
I'd like to think I'd be the Johnny Cash type.
Okay, do it now in the Johnny Cash voice.
Hi, I'm Johnny Guestar.
That's been one of my favorite jokes since I was 8. Okay, now someone does an impression, you go, okay, now do Superman. And it's funny.
Yeah.
Funny and pungent.
Yes.
I just used the word pungent.
You did.
There's no word. I meant to say pungent.
Really?
And then that would have been an inappropriate word, but at least it would have been a word.
It would have been Norm Crosby. You turned the two words into a portmanteau.
You're making this a very excruciating experience for me. Wait, I just used the right word.
You did, yes. Eastside 76 says, I don't think I could live with myself if I committed suicide.
I like that, Eastside 76. Don't go by Josh's mocking laughing.
Don't go by Josh's mocking laughing.
Don't mock me, Josh.
Don't mock me, Dad.
I'm tired. It's going to make me more moody. Oh, I thought you'd give me one more.
No.
Moody.
I think that's it. That's our tweets for the week.
So, you know what I would like to say? Here's the thing. I can't even say something which would be a normal figure of speech like, I'd like to sum everything up without you thinking I'm trying to hang up on you. Now, here I am. I'm actually hovering over.
All right.
How about plug something and why don't you plug something and then just hang up angrily?
All right. If you'd like to go fuck yourself.
I don't like to toot my own horn.